Good morning. Welcome to A Plan with Me. This week I'm memory planning August 25th to the 31st. I'm using the Scribble Prints Co. kit, which is an office themed kit. And the bottom washi you see me putting down right now is from Simply Gilded. It is black with gold foil. I thought this kit would be perfect to mark going back to work after the summer break. We didn't have students this week, but we did have meetings, so this kind of just made sense to me. I really do love this show quite a bit. It's probably my top 5, and just putting down the base made me want to rewatch it again. And this kit also came with more boxes than what I'm used to, so I'm used to using 11 boxes, and this kit had 13 that I wanted to use. So I kind of figured out how to use all 13. I made like a little flip box on the top corner so that I was able to use every single box. It came with all the characters, so I put Dwight in the middle, like, on Thursday because he is he is actually my favorite character. And yeah, there was nothing really else exciting that happened this week. I went to visit my parents on the weekend, and like I said, we had meetings for, like, half this week. Monday, Tuesday, I didn't have work. It was, like, the last part of my holidays. So I tried not to do too much. I tried to relax and just unwind the most that I possibly could before I started work again. And so yeah, there was one day where we had meetings outside and I don't know what it was, but all summer long we never got bothered by mosquitoes. And for some reason there's so many right now. And it's so odd because normally, they wouldn't even be around this time of year, but we're just getting swarmed so bad right now. Also, there has been quite a few wasps too, which is not that odd, but there seems to be more than usual in places where there normally isn't. Here's where I did that little flip box thing. I did that off camera because I knew I was going to mess up and take a very long time and I didn't want to, I don't know, I just didn't want to have that in there, me struggling with that. The other thing too that I want to mention is that this is glossy paper, so there is glare coming from the light. I do apologize for that. It just I couldn't figure out how to fix it. I tried moving it around, but nothing was working, so I do apologize for that. Here I'm putting down the date covers, and I couldn't find date dots that were the right color, so I just wrote it in with a black pen. Another thing I also did is I used the deco from this kit. I normally don't use deco, but I just felt nostalgic, so I used them at the top and the bottom. So getting into the day by day on Monday, the first thing I'm marking is that I slept in, and I'm using this every minute a story sticker to mark that, and the sleep in script is from the Prairie Planner. And then when I woke up, I went to get a Tim Hortons coffee, so I'm using this girl and coffee cup from okay, I want to say Christian Designs, but I know that's not right. Maybe I can find it. Give me 1 second. I found the sticker book that it came from. It came from the Shine Sticker Studio book that I bought from Michaels, and the Tim Hortons script is from the Prairie Planner. Next, I'm marking that I unpacked from the trip, so I'm using that suitcase from Alley Cat Shop. And then to mark that I took a shower, I'm using this Once More with Love sticker. And we got sushi that evening, so I'm using another Once More with Love sticker to mark that. I realize I don't have actual sushi stickers, so I need to try find some because we started eating a lot of sushi lately. And then just to mark relaxing, I am using this girl from Paperica Shop to mark that I just had a relaxing evening. And moving on to Tuesday, the first thing I'm marking is that I was up early, so I'm using this clock sticker from Once More with Love. And the up early script is from the Prairie Planner. And then to mark that I did a crime binge, like I watched, I think, Mr. Ballin again this day. I know this doesn't really make sense, but it kind of makes sense to me. I'm using Daryl Dixon to mark that. I just have so many leftover Walking Dead stickers that I need to use up because I don't know when I stopped watching that show, but I haven't watched it in years and I have so many leftovers. And I can't remember where that sticker's from either. And then to mark that I had planning time, I'm using the stickers from the Prairie Planner. And the planner time script is from Girls Creations. I'm kind of falling behind here. Okay, so we went to get groceries that day, so I'm using the Munchkin from the Coffee Monsters Co. to mark that, and then the KFC sticker is from Papershire. And then marking that I played Black Ops 6 that evening, I'm using the Starlight Paper Co. controller to mark that. And then, oh, I wasn't behind. Okay, that's funny. I just rushed through that. What was I even looking at? Okay, anyways, moving on to Wednesday, the first thing I'm marking is that I was up early, so I'm using this Papershire bunny. She's like looking outside, looking at the sun. And the up early script is from the Prairie Planner. And then to mark that we had our meetings, I'm using this laptop sticker with a bow. I have no idea where it's from. It's a leftover. Every time I have leftovers, I put them in this reusable sticker book, and there's just no way of knowing where it came from. The meeting script, though, is from Sticky Sloth Designs, and then I'm using this large emojis from the Coffee Monsters Co. I think there's like 1, 2, 3. There's five, five of them, just to mark that I met up with my work friends. We talked about our summer, and yeah, it was just a lot of catching up, a lot of fun. And then I went to an ice cream stand that's near our work that I wanted to try, and I never even tried all summer, so it was my first time going there. And the ice cream is from the Prairie Planner. And then to mark that I set up my class, I'm using this Papershire stack of children's book just to mark that I started setting up my classroom. And then when I got home that evening, I played Apex. So I'm using this Papershire girl, and the Apex script is from the Prairie Planner. And then moving on to Thursday, the first thing I'm marking is that I was up early again, so I'm using a different Papershire bunny sticker to mark that. And this is the day that we had our meetings outside, so I'm using these sunglasses that I have no idea where they're from. Again, they're from a leftover. And the idea to have meetings outside was to we're an indigenous based school, so they wanted to feel. I'm saying they, I mean, I don't know what I'm trying to say, how I'm trying to explain this, but we wanted to learn nature stuff. I'm First Nation, so I felt like I even said, I'm like, I know all this stuff already. Can I just go? I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, but of course they didn't let me. And anyways, to mark that we were getting swarmed by mosquitoes, I'm using this girl from the Prairie Planner. And it was also really hot. So after the mosquitoes kind of died down in the morning, it just got really scorching hot. So it was just like one thing after the other. You couldn't even really focus. And then they had a catering company come there, and the food it wasn't very great. Like some of the stuff was not cooked right. And not only that, they ended up running out of food, and there was a lot of us. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. And then, anyways, that Munchkin is from Once More with Love, marking that it was so hot. And I'm using this paper airplane to mark that I went to go set up my classroom again a little bit after like this evening. And then to get Tim Hortons ice caps, I'm using that small little frozen drink from Girls Creations. And then I played Apex, and I'm using that small controller from 3 Years Apart. And then moving on to Friday, the first thing I'm marking is that I went to get Tim Hortons first thing in the morning. And I'm pretty sure that coffee cup right there is from the Prairie Planner. And the Tim Hortons script is from the Prairie Planner. And it was really hot again this day, so I'm using another Once More with Love sticker to mark that. Munchkin is just like melting in the sun. And then we had another meeting. This thankfully was indoors this time, so I'm using this. Is this one? Pretty sure that one is the Coffee Monsters Co. And then this day I set up my classroom library, so I'm using this book sticker. I'm not sure where it's from. And then this evening I called my dad, so I'm using this emoji sticker to mark that. This emoji on the phone. And then I played some Apex that evening, so I'm using this Mr. and Mrs. Mint controller to mark that, and the Apex script is from the Prairie Planner. Moving on to Saturday, the first thing I'm marking is I was up early again, so I'm using another Paper Shire bunny sticker to mark that, and the up early script is from the Prairie Planner. And I just had a little bit of planner time, so I'm using this girl that unfortunately I don't know where she's from either, but the planner time is from Curls Creations. And then I ran some errands that day, so I'm using these debit credit card stickers, not sure which they are, but just to mark that I ran some errands, and those are from the Prairie Planner. And this day I felt like McDonald's breakfast, so I went to get McDonald's, and I'm using that McCafe coffee from Paper Bits Co. I had it written down because I wasn't sure where it was from. And then using a car sticker from the Prairie Planner, I'm marking that I drove to my parents' place, which is 3 hours from where we live, so I needed to leave kind of early. And then using these emoji stickers talking, I'm just marking that I was visiting with my parents that evening and we were talking about because my parents need to because their house was damaged in the fire this past summer, they're trying to figure out where they want to live is basically what was happening, so we were just talking it through. And then we watched Three's Company that evening. So I'm using this TV sticker from the Prairie Planner. And finally, moving on to Sunday, the first thing I'm marking is I was up early again, and I'm just realizing now that they're exact same stickers, but that's okay. And then I had breakfast, and I'm using this bagel sticker from Beneva Creations to mark breakfast. I think all these scripts on this day are from the Prairie Planner. And then I had a TikTok binge, so I'm using this Once More with Love sticker to mark that. And then using these bunny stickers from the Paper Shire, I'm marking that I was visiting with my family. I don't really have a family that's that huge, but it was cute. And then this day I actually watched this on my phone, the documentary called Unknown Number, the high school catfish story. It's a long name. Really crazy documentary. I cannot believe, like, I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked by the whole thing. So crazy. Even now thinking about it, I'm like, I can't believe. But anyway, very crazy. Anyways, after that, I'm marking that I went to visit one of my friends who I haven't seen in like 5 years. We like were just catching up for the last 5 years. I was like, I'll stop by quickly for 10 minutes. I think we talked for like an hour just standing on her driveway. Then marking that I had cuddles and using that Maru sticker and the Tim Hortons ice cap star sticker is from Busy Bee Plants. So yeah, thank you for stopping by, for watching. Have a great week. Bye.